Yeah, all right, we're back. Judd'z Budz episode. Who cares? Spokesy, I can't even say as always, as we're supposed to be. As always, from a good buddy, Mr. Hat State of Hoppy. How we doing?
I mean, in fairness, we got a streak of like at least 6 or 7 that I haven't missed when you've been here. So, as always, if we do the show, I guess.
I mean, I guess that's what that means.
Dude, yeah, it's been 2 weeks. It feels like, I don't even know. Like, what, 2 weeks ago is when the Joey Cullen news popped up, and now it's like not even something worth talking about, even though Joey Cullen freaking rocks. So I'm so happy about it. But yeah, dude, it's been a whirlwind. We had a weird week because I was out of town and we just had some conflicts 2 weeks ago to get back on. And then the following week, if you can't hear, I'm still kind of battling through and getting over being sick. So the first weekend coming into the first episode we missed, we went to the Dells and like we did one of the like houses out there, like a villa with 4 other families, all had kids, and I'm pretty sure there was like double-digit kids and 5 sets of married couples. And I don't know who it was because no one seemed like they were sick, but someone passed something to my wife. Maybe it was someone from just the Dells in general. And she was sick as a dog for a week. At the tail end of that, the 2 little kids got sick. And then they got me sick. And it's just been like, I think there was 3 days in a row where me and the 2 kids were home sick together. And I don't know who was taking care of who. Like, that's kind of where we were at in last week's missed episode. I'm like, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I can barely talk. I can barely stay awake. We're not doing this. So that one's fully hand up on me. Then this weekend, Z, we went up to the lake, baptized both kids in the lake, which rocked. So my childhood best friend, we've like been friends since like we were Logan's age, and he has lived in Hawaii for the last like 15 years. Him and his daughter, who's like a couple weeks older than Logan, flew up here for it. We, on the way up to the cabin, stopped at Costco because we got like a Costco cake. We got like a platter of sandwiches and stuff for all the people that were going to be up there. And he's Logan's godfather, and he's like, I got to get him a sick present. So we go into Costco, me, him, his daughter, and my younger son. I go to the bathroom for 3 minutes. I come out. He's got a cart with 2 little kids and a massive box. It is one of those jumbo inflatable dinosaur slides into a pool. Like, it's literally, I think, 20 feet by 10 feet.
Hell yeah.
And it's like fully inflated. So he did that. And like, he's like, I'm doing this. I don't care what you say. Then on the weekend, he proceeds to set it up. And within 5 minutes of it being set up, torrential downpour. Fuck it. Got all the kids out there. We are playing in a downpour on this dinosaur slide thing. My kid won't even go down the slide, but he's running around. There's like this like squirt gun thing on there that like is attached to the hose. So he's just living it up. Needless to say, plenty of drinking, very little sleeping. So I don't know if I'm still sick, but I'm absolutely going to sound like I'm still sick for probably another week here.
Hell yeah, dude.
We're going to try to survive. I don't know. So, fuck it.
Jeez, man. Well, that sounds great.
It was something.
Being sick.
Yeah, minus the being sick.
And yet, somehow, despite missing the show for 2 weeks, there's nothing really new going on. We're just 2 weeks closer to the season starting. A couple tournaments that happened. But other than that, it is painful, which is annoying considering how unbelievable the start to the off season was between the draft and then the trades that were going on offer sheets. And it was like, well, I guess we weren't gonna like have that kind of pace and that much shit going on every day for the entire summer. But holy shit, is this brutal? I'm like just losing my mind at this point where I'm like watching almost every fucking baseball game. Like, this is all I have right now. This is where I'm at. Yeah, dude. That's where we're at now.
Okay. Well, the one thing that we do kind of have to talk about, and we're going to preface this, I'm sure people still clip it and take things out of context, but like, it sounds like Quinn Hughes plans on extending with the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
It has gotten much harder for them to do so because of all of the craziness this summer with how contracts are being handled. I'm sure Quinn Hughes is asking for between 18 and 20 mil. And you know what? I don't care. Just give it to him at this point. You have no choice. But we got to start playing the if game a little bit, because until he signs, like, this is just like Kaprizov, we're all going to be nervous. Is the deadline for you start of the season? Is it that simple?
Yeah, I mean, like, probably. Like, I think at the training camp, it's basically like kind of the same thing with Kaprizov last summer. That one went a bit longer than we were really hoping it would, obviously, to the point where then people were really getting concerned that the number came out. Then it was either, thank God it's done, or like, holy shit, or both. And now, I mean, we'll see. This is year one of that extension, obviously kicking in, but
never the highest paid player in the NHL.
In theory, you know, he was for like, but
he wasn't paid.
But yeah. But I mean, like, again, I'm not worried about it. Like, even day one of the season, I'm like, well, it would be nice if this is done. It'd be nice if, like, once they came back to Minnesota, they like hit training camp, it was done. But I'm still like, the Wild would obviously know if he was like, yeah, I don't think so. They would obviously know by now. Like, outside of him, like, be like, that's to the first 10 games of the season go. I'd be like, okay, well, now I don't like that. No, that sucks, but I don't think that's where they're at, obviously. But yeah, I mean, I guess if you're gonna put like a hard day, like, what I'm trying to like really refresh the Twitter timeline to see, like, all right, what's the deal? I guess sure, trading camp or even day one of the season, maybe.
Well, so is there a date by which, let's say he hasn't signed by the start of the season? Is there like a soft date anywhere in there where it's like, okay, if it's not done by now, like, you have to trade him?
No, I mean, not in my head. I haven't even thought about that. Like, I haven't even let my brain get there.
I have, because like you said, there's nothing else to think about. And it's like, okay, if we get there, like, you can't let him ride this season, right? Like, that's not an option. Can we agree on that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you see a world where Bill Guerin is willing to ride out the season without a contract?
No.
I agree. And if he does, that will be the first, like, firm blunder where I'm like, Bill Guerin, I do not agree with you. You are an idiot.
I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. This kind of rules. All right. He's just like, I don't care.
Lives dangerously. I mean, on the flip side, how sick would it be if, let's say, something happens early this season where things are looking bad, like another major injury for, name the player. It could be Faber, it could be Boldy, it could be Kaprizov, it could be both goalies being hurt, whatever. Just imagine Bill Guerin trading Hughes somewhere, letting him go, like, push for a cup, with plans to then sign Hughes to a 3-year deal this summer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how sick would that be?
I'm like, all right.
like send him to Tampa. Just watch Tampa and Florida second round of the playoffs. Might be the best series we ever see.
Yeah, literally. Just super teams, yeah.
Oh, but so if it reaches the point where you gotta explore trading him, do you take a step back, or do you try in some way to make some level of hockey trade, knowing that you're not going to win that trade?
I mean, at that point, what are your, like, you can't.
You either trade for futures or you try and trade for existing pieces. I'm saying, like, I'm in the camp. I'd rather, like, take a step back and be willing to have this be an average year and regroup over the summer. Like, I don't want to try and replace Quinn Hughes because you can't.
Sure.
Like with Quinn Hughes, the Wild are fringe Stanley Cup contenders. I still think you're short of center of truly being a firm contender, but, like, I don't care. Fine. Call him a contender. I'm okay with that. If you trade Quinn Hughes, you're not getting a package back that makes you a contender. It's not. I don't see a world where that's possible. You?
No, but I mean, at the same time, you also look at like, let's say this does come like again, this is us just we have literally nothing to talk about. But like, I don't think they're also like when you look at the roster, like you can't just go there which is pure futures here unless you're literally gonna immediately turn around and turn that into a different. Which at that point you probably just make that trade. But I don't think you can if you're gonna have to. Like, you can't just go pure futures, I don't think. I mean, like, either way, you're trading Quinn Hughes, who on his day is either the best, one of the top 3 defensemen in the world. Like, you're just not going to, obviously, get him back. But, obviously, you'd be able to get just, like, a monster package, assuming wherever he goes, then they have to have some inclination he's willing to sign there. But, like, it just, like, again, this is something I can't even, like, wrap my mind around that happening. But who knows if we get to September 30th, like Cosgrove said, when, I guess that's when Kaprizov signed. If we get to that point, I'm like, all right, well, then maybe. But I just don't think if you were to have to trade him, I don't think you can just do like pure futures.
I'm not saying like pure futures, but like I just don't think you can go out and say like, all right, we're trying to trade him to keep doing exactly what we're doing because that's not a thing. But to your point there on calling him like you like kind of fudged it and then said, depending on the day, top 3, right? It's not inaccurate, and I'm not like poking fun at the people who do it because there's so many that do, but it is hilarious to me every time when Russo, when Joe Smith, when any of the league-wide pundits say Quinn Hughes is a top 2 defenseman in the NHL. Is there, like, you might as well just say he's the second best because you don't call Cale Makar a top 2 defenseman in the NHL, do you? Like top 2 is just like so weirdly specific. It's like, all right, he's one of the 2 best. And if you're saying top 2, that means you probably don't think he's number 1.
I guess, I don't know. I'd be like on their best days, I could still go back and forth between the 2 of them. But again, like you look at this year, I'm just sure. I get okay. I don't know.
It just top 2 feels weird. Why can't they just say top 3 and keep it simple? Like, I don't know. It's just funny to me. Like you don't hear many times that someone's labeled as a top 2 anything.
Yeah.
Like you're the best or you're top 3 or you're top 5. Like top 2 just means like, okay, so he's 2. Got it.
Yeah. And like also too, just thinking about like, let's say some for like everything went to shit, absolute catastrophe. And like they end up having to like somehow move on from the Hughes thing. Even like you look like this is a completely different situation, different team, different conference, like everything is not saying this is, but like just like get creative with it. If they didn't want to like just do futures or whatever, like it makes what Carolina did with like the run situation even more impressive. Where they're like, all right, like that was obviously immediately they were like, oh shit, like a month in, like this is not going the way we wanted it to, and he doesn't know if he wants to resign here. Okay, we have to like move this, and they do incredibly well given the circumstances, and now they're like up champions. So it just makes it like that much more impressive. And I don't really know if there's like a situation where you could make like any kind of like comparable thing.
Well, that's what's tough.
It would be tough. And even then, like when that trade happened, it was like, hey, this is probably a good for this situation. It's probably like, I think if you knew a lot about someone like a Logan Stankoven, then you're like, holy shit, all right. But like, if you're like if you're less familiar with the game, you're like, really? Like that's what happened here with the Rendon? And it was just like, well, worked out in the end.
Well, but the big difference with that too, because it is a good comparison as far as like star power and you got to recoup your assets. But Rantanen, every team largely at least had a conceivable possibility of extending him. If Quinn Hughes is turning down the Wild, that means he's going to New Jersey, right? So like, what is his value as a pure rental?
Right.
Like, could you go to the Tampa Bay Lightning and trade him for anything meaningful if they're like, we know we're only getting him for this 1 year?
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, well, just looking at like Tampa, like their GMs, like Breezeball in Tampa, they're like, we don't give a fuck. Yeah, we'll do that, and we'll figure it out later.
So, like, could you get a Jake Gensel for him?
I mean, I don't get like I don't like.
Would you do that?
Look at well, I mean, like It's like insane. Like it just doesn't even compute in my brain. Like it's not a thing. Like it's not going to be Tampa either way. But I'm saying team like Tampa, we've seen them be like, yeah, fuck it, we'll make it work. Probably a rental, maybe not, but we're confident that we're going to be a contender. We're going to like throw our hat in the ring here and go for it. But even them, like it's been interesting the last couple of years, obviously too. Like they're at a similar spot where their asset pool is like pretty dry now too, but they somehow end up like either moving players or like getting really nice contracts. They end up getting some picks. Now they've got a couple prospects that are like looking like they're ready to go, and then they've obviously went out and found players like Dominic James, who's like a solid contributor now. Gonsalves, who's been awesome for them. They still find a way to make it work, and yet like they can put themselves in position and make moves if they want to every year. But that would be obviously again, just bringing up a team like Tampa, who's like, yeah, we don't go fuck. We'll throw everything out the window for like even if it might be a rental for now, and who knows, maybe we'll be able to get him to change his mind later. But
get the second O'Reilly in Minnesota.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I can see you don't want to take this conversation much further, so we can end the Quinn Hughes discussion. It's just I don't know. At a certain point, we are going to have to at least kind of consider what could a return look like if he doesn't extend. Like, if training camp starts and he hasn't signed, that's what the talk's going to be, is it not?
I can't. This is
all right.
I can't even. I'm gonna have to leave and come back. I think this is bad.
Oh, it's your internet? Oh, I thought you were like saying you're just done talking about Quinn Hughes.
Oh, I couldn't even hear what you said.
All right, you bounce out and come back in a second, and hopefully it works. Cosgrove points out Quinn has no trade protection. It's always so weird to like read it that way. No trade protection. Like he has a no trade clause. Nope, he does not have trade protection. There would be a bidding war for a rental. I agree there'd be a level of bidding war, but you're not going to get the same value as you would get if a team has a chance to extend him. But yes, like I think you're still going to get a decent return, but a lot of the teams that want him and that make sense for that trade that are actually vying for cup contention, because otherwise, why do you take a 1-year rental if you're not going to try and win the cup? How much do those teams have to give back without taking a big dent out of that roster they've already got trying to contend for a cup? I don't know. It's interesting. Narcy says Quinn for Cooch and let him and Kirill play together. I mean, I do that right now, even if there's a chance to extend, but unlikely that would ever be an option. Z, are we any better? Oh, says he's no good. All right. Any other comments, Mateo? That's like saying Werenski is top 3 because he's number 3. Well, yeah, but at least like when you say top 3, you're not necessarily saying that the person's the number 3, because it's just a normal conversation to talk about like who are the top 3 of anything. When have you ever heard a discussion about any sports where it's like, yep, he's a top 2 guy? It just doesn't feel like something that gets said. Maybe I'm just off my rocker and I'm not hearing it, but I've never heard anyone labeled as a top 2 anything until Quinn Hughes came to Minnesota. And then I've just constantly heard he's a top 2 defenseman. But again, probably me. Poked Zed, stream dead. Yeah. We'll see. This might be a short one, guys. He may not be returning. Okay. He just told me he's never had internet this bad. He's going to reboot the computer and we'll see if we're good. It usually works after that, so we'll give it a whirl. Any other comments, Mateo, before we filibuster for a minute? Nothing. Oh. McDavid for Quinn plus future considerations. I don't think future considerations has ever been included in a trade with other players. That'd be interesting. I'm here for it. Who broke StreamYard this time? I think StreamYard broke Spoke Z, unfortunately. What up, Jupe? Apologies for the brutal voice. We are very much in recovery mode the last week and a half. God damn it, Cosgrove. Thank you for that. I needed it. I don't like this one because Josh Allen is a top 1 QB, so. But I like it. I can work with it. How many people in the chat are Gopher fans? Because I know Jupe and I, at least, are beyond thrilled about the Joey Cullen news a couple weeks ago, and we haven't had a show since then, so I'm bringing it up right now. Here's the moment of truth. Is it working?
For now, I can almost guarantee you it's just going to shut down again, but for now it works.
For now it works. Well, let's bang one out quick. We are going to talk quickly about Ben Dexheimer.
Yeah.
I know we talked about him a month and a half ago when we banked the interview, and I thought we were going to be dropping it that week, but hey, we've been holding on to it. We banked it. Ben Dexheimer, free agent, undrafted defenseman out of national champion runner-up, Wisconsin. Talk about the profile. How does he fit in Iowa? And maybe a level of like realistic ceiling floor discussion for him. Like what are we getting in this guy?
Yeah, I mean, Dexheimer was just an exciting player. Like, plays super hard, intense, up and down the ice, really good mover, moves the pucks really well, like with a passing game, can do with his feet. Likes to activate with it. I think, when you look at him, you're looking at more like organizational depth, and you're hoping that, for him long term, he can eventually become a full-time NHL guy. I think he got 2 or 3 games in Iowa last season. Looked like he was fitting in pretty well right away. And I know like the comments for those first 2 games about him, like there were those, again, I think it was 2 games. Looked positive, looked more than comfortable, and he's got just like obviously he's captain of Wisconsin, great attitude on the kid. So I really that's another player that we looked at this year. Minnesota was more aggressive than they are usually about going out and looking for like college free agents. At least they literally at least went out and got a couple of them. Not always been something that they've done a whole lot of in the past. And again, just because it's me and I somehow have to link this back to Boston. Like when Boston was giving up first round picks, second round picks almost every single year, just like try to compete or whatever, they had to go in the last couple of seasons and really go hard at like the free agents coming out of college. And obviously you're not getting not always going to get like a Torrey Krug. That's how like the Boston ended up with there, obviously. But like every once in a while, you never know what you hit. But I think he's just a kid that was like a long-term development. But had a really nice career, especially that last year Wisconsin started to pick up some really nice points. But exciting player, really smart, plays hard, and he's going to give you impact both ends of the ice. So hopefully, he's going to be playing in that top 4 in Iowa this season, and kind of just like picked up where he left off. But he's got a great attitude. I wouldn't be surprised if the next few years he gets a cup of coffee at HL, and I think he's another player you just bet on eventually becoming probably a third pair guy that can chip in like secondary, tertiary offense or whatever. That can just be an overall positive impact when he's on the ice. So, again, just a kind of play that you like to believe in. And I really like that the Wild went out and signed a kid like him, even if it is just for now, like organizational depth, because like those are the type of players you want down there that can be impact, especially when you look at where Iowa is right now.
Yeah, very fair. And I don't remember for sure, but I think when Joe was talking to Charlie Stramel at Dev Camp, came up, was he roommates with Dexheimer before he left and went to Michigan State? I thought that was maybe the case.
I feel like maybe I remember them saying that. I think so. That sounds right.
Fun little wrinkle.
Just actually never came up. We're making that up.
That's something I could see myself conjuring up by myself and thinking that it's real. But with that, we'll kick it over to Ben Dexheimer. Just kidding. That's not happening on this stream. That was just to make it easier for editing for Fellowship this week. Sorry about that, but yeah, anyone that's wondering, Wednesday or Thursday this week, Fellowship of the Rink, Ben Dexheimer will be the featured interview. Great kid. Looking forward to hopefully a fully revitalized blue line. Like, there's kids down there that we've liked and talked about for a while, Z, and the hope, maybe there's a little bit of blind faith there, but like, Stu Bickle's a guy that we're hoping is going to be able to come in and make a difference with that group in particular. Because I don't know. I'm not going to say I'm not at all worried about the forward group, but like, there's a lot of fun players there. There's good names that if the Minnesota Wild can stay healthy and the Iowa Wild can stay healthy, there could be some fun lines developing in the forward group. If that blue line comes together, Iowa's a completely different team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean the nice part too, when you look at you do have a couple kids down there, and again we've talked about the blue line ad nauseum here, and I think there was a lot that could have gone differently as far as just like how they were deployed, how Iowa was built out. But they have plenty of kids down there that, in theory, are probably knocking on the door for an NHL job. Like Spacek's right there, Lambos is right there. We already saw Gustafsson Nyberg get a couple games already in the NHL last year after signing out of college, which again another great signing for him. Or for Minnesota. I think Parrott's coming back. Roman Schmidt was down there, and he was just like, I think his first 5 games, he got into just Titanic tilts. It was fun. Like some of the fights that this Roman Schmidt kid was getting after they acquired, I was like, oh my God, they're murdering each other. Is just a big, giant, mean bastard. But they've got plenty of guys on that in theory, they're like knocking on the door for an NHL job. So not only is it just a group of players who, like, a good amount of them have been playing together for a couple of years, but really with like competing with each other or against each other for a very limited number of like NHL jobs that are going to be opening up in Minnesota at least the next year or two. And who knows if maybe if they're not seeing the path of Minnesota now, there's the Wild are still trying to figure out how they can like build up assets to move out somewhere else. So maybe they'll be able to make themselves part of an intriguing package as Minnesota looks for things to add to bring in a number 1 center. So it's just good that they've got competition down there. And again, like the second half of the season was significantly better. They even flirted with a playoff spot last year. I love the Stu Bickle, the Bickle hire. So I think there's a lot of positive. Well, they've got some momentum now. I really like the offseason, which I wasn't sure how I was going to feel like when finally had some positive momentum in terms of results last year. Now all of a sudden thrown, it's like, I'm going to St. Louis to be an assistant coach. It's like, oh, okay. Well,
yeah. And I mean, with that, good transition. This week's Central Division roster we're going to go into is the St. Louis Blues. I was telling you before we jumped on here, Z, this has to be the highest ceiling, lowest floor team in the division for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wouldn't you agree? Like the delta between like how well and how poorly they could do. I don't think I guess them and Nashville are in a similar boat. Probably for me, they're kind of in that same tier where we know who should be the top 4. Injuries might bump some down. St. Louis, Nashville might jump over a couple, but like Chicago, they could come out and surprise us. Surprising us is going to be like flirting with playoffs and not making it. Winnipeg, who knows what's happening with them this year. I think this is a roster that could be very fun with the forward group, and I don't know how to make which way of what their blue line could be. Like, Broberg ended up being the greatest. It looked like it was an overpay in their offer sheet. And now with the way that contracts are going for defensemen with the new salary cap, him at 4 and change is an absolute steal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like when you look at I think one of the big questions they're going to have is who is Broberg going to be playing with? Like last season, most of the games he played with Parayko. And I mean, like overall positive impact in those, but I'm sure they would like to let him kind of like be freed up. And like when you look at like on a Stanley Cup contending roster, is he like an out number 1? No, probably not. But like he can be a top pair guy, or just like a really solid number 3. But the progression in his game the last couple of years, he's been a stud. he was so good last year. And again, like when they tried him with Logan Mailloux, did not go as well, and he really had to take on a role more so of just like kind of like covering for another young D-man. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to Parayko here. It's just like it's really intriguing what they've got coming. I like honestly completely had forgot that they picked up Brandon Carlo. I think that they can keep him on a third pair. Like the Fowler Carlo pair has, if they don't rely on it for like two, if that could be truly a third pair minutes, that they're not going to be out there like against another team's
like
top line
10, 12 minutes
and shift out. Then I think they'll be okay. It also has real potential to be absolutely catastrophic. Because like the best of Brandon Carlo is like you don't even notice him. At his worst, he makes a mistake every single time he touches the puck. It feels like it goes in every single time. Then he somehow ends up with like a head injury. Like it's unbelievable at the highs and lows of Carlo. But if like I think that if they've got some intriguing options there in terms of what they want to roll out there. But like it's interesting because I really want Broberg to be in a situation where he is freed up, but like as solid as Colton Parayko is in his own end, is a pure shutdown defenseman, like one of the best defensive D-men in the league. I mean, you are not getting the puck if he's glassing out like at the offensive blue line. I'll rim it every single time. Like, hey, fair enough. If the puck stays out of the net when we're all there, that's cool. But like,
it'd be brilliant
to be set free.
So, what's the rumor for why Parayko was unwilling to go to Buffalo?
Oh, I can't remember.
Isn't it that his wife's family has like some kind of like pizza dynasty in St. Louis? Yeah. Imagine if they decided to go to the Blues and say, we want to sponsor every pizza that he tosses. Like every time they just go back and show it up on replay. This brought to you by Parayko's wife's pizza place. Like that could be brilliant marketing. And maybe he'd be willing to take the humiliation for the family. It'd be funny. Any defensive prospects for them that you think could be vying for spots this year? Because they got some decent guys there.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think he's gonna be. I mean, he has a shot, but I mean, like Jiricek has a chance. Like he'll be getting a legit look in camp. Like he was obviously really good last year. Was outstanding at the World Juniors.
Adam Jiricek, by the way, for Wild fans who are freaking out right now.
No, somehow he's actually also going over to St. Louis. David is, and but that's one prospect that they have like knocking on the door potential. I think he's probably a year or two away from being a full-time NHL player, but I mean, he definitely has a chance, and like the progression's been really good since he got drafted. And I do like who else? Because I was literally just looking at their pool the other day. I want to say there's one or two other guys because they've drafted some really nice pieces the last couple of years. And like the other player that gets a lot of games for them, but again with the addition of Carlo, probably not going to be in there as often as Tyler Tucker, another kid that's been playing a ton of games for them. But this feels like the right six. And Theo Lindstein, I was down on him in his draft year somewhat, or well, I was, but he came in last year was like really good in a small sample size. So I was really impressed with the minutes that he got last year, which again was pretty. I was impressed by just how well he adjusted to NHL minutes. What was the other one? Yeah, Adam Jiricek. Oh no, they're mostly the other kids that they just like drafted last year too, who aren't going to be in the fold here, obviously. But
sure.
I think Colin Ralph just signed his ELC though.
There you go. I'm far more intrigued by the forward group, though. Like I said at the beginning here, and I think this top 9 could actually be pretty formidable.
Mm-hmm.
You add in Mason McTavish, which again, that's a player we've talked about a lot, just as kind of being a fringe. Hey, maybe the Wild would consider a guy like this, but him going in as the 2C behind Thomas, who again, probably not being traded. Sounds like that's very much a thing of the past. That first line of Holloway, Thomas, Snuggerud, very fun. You followed up with McMichael, McTavish, Buchnevich, and then a third line of, I've always loved Pew Suter. Neighbors is very fun. and then our boy Rick Dvorsky. I really like that top 9. I did not expect to come into this season saying positive things about the St. Louis Blues, but I really like that top 9.
Yeah, and I mean, I wanted to go. I had to go to hockey stats to bring up the numbers from the Holloway Thomas Snuggerud line last year were legitimately outrageous. One of the best lines in hockey,
well, especially down the stretch, right? Or no, wait.
Oh yes, it was. They were outrageous. Yeah. But I just pulled it up in 34 games, just under 250 minutes. At 5-on-5, they outscored their opponents 24-7 for a 77% goal share. Expected goals is 60%. And then they outshot teams by over 55% when they were on the ice together. Like at one point, they were on the ice for like 14 straight goals, and it was just complete and utter domination. But you would assume that that's going to be that top line coming out of camp immediately, barring something insane. But that top line has just been so good, and Snuggerud, that's going to be an interesting one to watch as far as contracts that are going to be coming up here. But he is just, what a beast. He's been so good since he went to the NHL full time. Even in the playoffs last year, he's just like, I'm just going to get first couple games here. But yeah, no, he's been unbelievable for them. But that top line specifically was so good last year down the stretch. And yeah, no, the Thomas thing is definitely like outside of like completely like calamitous collapse. Which again, that's what we were talking about at the time. I was like, this doesn't even make any sense. He's like a true number 1 center who's locked in a ridiculously good contract. But yeah.
Again, there were a lot of people that pushed back when we said nice things about him. I would do unspeakable things for him to be with the Wild. I love him. Like so much more than some of the other centers that we've talked about, especially given his contract and what you could probably acquire him for. But yeah, that just sounds very fun to me across the board. And then I just don't know what to expect from Hofer and Binnington. I really have no freaking clue. Can Hofer step up? Maybe. Can Binnington be like sick for a month? Yes. I can't see him being anything that matters for a full season. I just can't. Now, could he catch fire in March and then go on a tear in the playoffs? Maybe. But that's assuming that the Blues even make the playoffs, which again, I'm saying nice things now. They're in a really tough division. They are. Like, it's going to be tough to break that top 4 unless something goes pretty sideways for those 4 teams.
Yep. Yeah, I was going to say too, when you look at the other or the forward group too, there's a couple guys also like I think Sundqvist is still signed there, but I don't know what his situation is. But also a guy that got 30 or so games last season, Stenberg, Otto. And he came in, he looked pretty good. And I think he ended up with like 10, 11 points in 30 games last year towards the tail end. And he looked like he was going to be fitting in. So I'd imagine he gets a pretty good look here. I think he actually played more games than Finley did. But it's another guy can play bottom 6, center, wing, doesn't really matter. And again, he came into the NHL and fit in right away. So it's interesting to see that. I think
I don't see him listed on their Puckpedia.
Did he not sign?
Sundqvist.
Oh, I don't know.
I thought he was there too, but I'm not seeing him. Maybe he's still a free agent.
I know. I thought he had one more year, but whatever. I'm not really.
Guys that are not on there that I see on their Puckpedia: Nathan Walker, 2 more years. Dylan Dubé, 1 more year. Jonathan Berggren on his final year. I think that is it.
Yeah. But the big X factor I do think too is going to be how well can McTavish fit in. Can he be a true number 2 center? Does he gonna end up 100%. Playing more wing? Like, is he going to be able to play that role? I think like in the right situation, the pace can at least he can still make it work. I do think the pace is just going to be a problem for him, but like a team with like say Lewis outside of that top line, really, that is a good team that's not necessarily relying on all that pace historically. So it'll be interesting to see how it works out, but that's going to be huge for them. I'm like, I could see any scenario there where it's like it just does not work, and they need to figure out a way to put him more like a middle six winger, maybe that's not going to be relied on to like carry the puck and transport. But we'll see how it goes. The kid still has a ton of skill to score, and obviously he's got the right attitude. He's a big physical kid, so we'll see how it goes. But that's going to be a huge for them if he can step in and be like a like decent enough number 2 center like that. They're going to be a problem, or at least they're going to be a pain in the ass to play every game.
I am just realizing that there's 5 more years left on Pavel Buchnevich.
Mm-hmm.
That's great right now, not great in a couple of years.
Yeah, probably.
But that's okay. They'll figure it out. Cool. I think that's really it for the Blues. Again, like this is a team that if they stay healthy, I can see a world where they make the playoffs. I can.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd honestly almost put them at more of like a 50-50. Because someone in that top 4 group will stumble. And I don't see much competition coming out of the Pacific, so maybe there are 5 teams coming out of the Central. Who knows? But we wait. We'll see. Z, all we really had left, unless there's questions coming in at all, Mateo, I'm honestly not even sure, but I guess it's really just anything notable from Hlinka World Junior Summer Showcase, which the name is DuPont. That's who everyone's talking about. Did he live up?
Yeah, I mean he was ridiculous again. I've got significantly less on the summer showcase, but the Hlinka was interesting again. I think it went for bait. Actually, that's not necessarily true. Sweden was brutal. They didn't even medal. But that being said, Milan Sundstrom still showed out for he was ridiculously good. It still just wasn't enough for them to go anywhere really. But he was so good. But yeah, Canada, obviously, they ended up taking down USA pretty easily in that gold medal game. A couple of their 2028 eligibles were big time standouts, like a ridiculously good tournament for Liam Pugh. Ridiculous shot, but also just dynamic all over the ice, always in the right spot. He was playing with another 28 eligible. Maddox Schultz was also really good.
And they're playing on the same WHL team, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah.
Which is gonna
the connection was obviously, yeah. Schultz was just such a fucking animal all along the wall, the cycle game, just generating offense left and right with P. Those two were just terrifying. And pretty much we're just creating chances every single time they touched the puck. But yeah, no, Van and DuPont, some of the stuff that he could, watching him just take over a control game from the back end, even if there was moments of chaos, and then you just throw DuPont back over the boards, and all of a sudden everything's calmed down. He's with the puck on a stick 60% of the game. He's just so good. So obviously still the Fur projected. Nothing changed from this tournament, other than him just again continuing to impress. And I'm sure he's going to take right to college hockey in a really good spot, obviously. And then another 27 eligible that I was really impressed with Canada, Jacko Wyzik. I think where is he playing? Peterborough, I think. But he came over last year. Was a solid player in the OHL. Super smart. It's how high is the offensive upside? We'll continue to see the O here. But again, another kid that just kind of controls the game, especially in chaotic environments, and flash some elite playmaking here and there. He was really good. One of the best names of the tournament, Brock Cripps. Started off really hot, kind of cooled off at the end there. And
I've seen a lot of people kind of throw him in as the people aren't high enough on this guy yet.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends who you ask. I think he's been right in and around the people that throw out the way too early list. He's anywhere from 11, 12 to 20, 25. But he's just he is what he is. He's
where is he for you?
He's still big enough. He's still late teens probably for me, I think.
Sure.
But he's very fun to watch when he's on. Just puts up a ton of points, really good on the puck. Some of the creativity, that he shows. His ability to I always fucking do that power play at quarterback. Like the quarterback, I don't know why I do that every time, or like so often, anyways.
I like it.
Yeah, no, he also was pretty solid defensively, which again, like the Crips' go-to is going to be that offense at the next level. Like just a ton of skill, great shot. But another potential all-name team down the line here, but in the semis and the goal, like Canada. As far as like when you look at the minutes, the usage, like Mark L'Italian, I don't know how to say it. L apostrophe Italian. Was like their go-to guy. And I mean, he may have been like him and DuPont, they both had like a shot to be like their most important defenseman in the gold medal game. He's a big boy. He skates really well, physical, really smart, really good with a stick. And then offensively, just moves pucks out, gets the job done pretty simple and easy. But yeah, he gets all the tough minutes. So he was really good. And that was probably like just think about Canada. USA, some big time standouts though, especially that first game. Gavin Bursar, Michigan State commit, shocking. Playing in the dub this year. His first game put up a hat trick for USA, one at even strength, one shorthanded, one power play goal. All 3 goals were absolutely outrageous. But he made a statement pretty much every single time he was on the ice. Him and Joey Cullen, who was another one of USA's best forwards. First time they ever brought a underager for this. And he was
talk more about that.
He was beyond impressive. 5 points in 5 games. I mean, he's just obviously going to be early standout, be competing for the very top of that 28 class. Tons of skill. Loves at times too much, you would argue. The puck on his stick. Just no fear. Doesn't matter. He's like the last guy back with the puck on his stick at the blue line. 2 guys coming up. He's just like, yeah, I'm gonna put it. I'm fine. I'm gonna hang on to this one. And usually finds his way through that and then creates a chance. But those 2 are really impressive, along with Ethan Sung, who I wonder if he was maybe like a couple inches taller, how he would be talked about. He did really, really good this tournament. I think he ended up with 6 points in 5 games. Thinks the game at a high end, just plays with ridiculous pace, plays 1,000 miles an hour. And for his size, he's super strong. So he was like throwing the body around. I think he was surprising some guys, but he was really impressive too for US.
And the one other thing that came out of the summer showcase is it seems even more solidified now that Wyatt Cullen is a center, which I don't mind. I'm still a little sad that he won't be playing on a line with Mooney and Zemer, but hey, maybe he ends up centering that line. I don't know, but I need Joey Cullen to jump in a year early just to play with him for 1 year. It'd be so fun.
Yeah, that would rule.
Probably won't happen, but it would rock. Was there anyone else for Team USA that like people don't know about that popped off in any kind of way, or is it pretty typical Hlinka shit where USA is not necessarily showcasing their best talent?
Yeah, I mean, like, again, I don't really know how familiar people are with a lot of the 27, 28 eligibles, obviously, but the other one that was like probably the most just consistent creator, most noticeable like defenseman is the Jake Prunty kid. I think he ended up 5 or 6 assists in those 5 games. But skates really well, moves pucks, really creative with the offensive blue line as well. So he was definitely another standout for them. But yeah, the skating's just incredible. It's just super impressive. And as long as he can continue to develop some like the physicality in his own end, being more willing to engage, I think he's a prospect in there. But he was really good for US. And he's always fun to just watch with the puck because he can move it with good first pass, or he's more than capable of skating out himself. Really deceptive with the puck on his skate, like just shoulder fakes, deception, and initiate offense from the back end. He's really fun. So I thought he was really good for US.
Sick. Question that came in from the chat from Steve Tompkins. Who's the best Wild prospect that's in college, Canadian juniors, or AHL? I mean, different answers across all of those. So if he's just asking in general, who's our best prospect? I imagine we're in unison that it's Charlie Stramel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at just, especially when you, in terms of who's like the closest, plays like a pretty, just like NHL comparable game.
Closest, highest floor.
Yeah, definitely. Probably. Yeah, I would say highest floor for sure. And I mean, when you look at other guys that they've got in the prospect pool coming, I'm still really intrigued. But what we've seen from Hunter Haight, when like the few games that he's got, it's been really good. And he's obviously, I think he's ready to play NHL games.
Love him. Yeah.
He's probably close to being a consistent NHL guy. Really like him.
Would you say that those two are the only ones that are for sure NHL players? Like a lot of other ones very well could be, but are they the only ones that you're willing to put a stamp and say they are absolutely NHL players?
Trying to think. Yeah, I mean, probably right now.
Again, that doesn't mean that there aren't prospects with a lot of potential and upside, but yeah, I think as far as floor goes, those are your two.
Yeah.
If we go to other leagues, then if we want to talk major, junior, and if we want to talk college has to be Adam Banach, no?
Yeah, Banach's definitely there. In that conversation, I'm trying to think. Like, I still really like Ryder Ritchie. I'm going to be curious to see how he does this year at BU.
I agree. He's the one that I'm most intrigued by this year.
Yeah, because I mean that BU team's good. They've got a couple of really nice players coming in, obviously. And again, like the flashes that we saw him playing with Tyler Lawrence, again, like the production wasn't there, and like again, Lawrence jumped into a BU team that was already in flux, but like those two showcased plenty of sequences that made you excited. So I think he's due for a bounce back season. Like, so I mean, he had his chances. It was just very up and down, and BU was just kind of a shit show from start to finish. But especially looking at his first 5 or 6 games at BU, I think he was right around a point per game.
I was surprised.
Pretty exciting.
I was surprised how many guys are jumping college.
Mm-hmm.
Like Amidovsky's going. Crap. Now I'm spacing on the other guy who I was like surprised to learn that he was going to college. Shoot. Whatever. It'll come back to me later. Who do we have in the CHL? Like, who is of interest in those leagues?
Now I have to go back because like somebody ever now making that jump to college.
Right.
I think Klippenstein's still on the dub.
No, I think he's making the jump too.
That makes sense, actually.
That was, I think, the other one that I couldn't come up with. Let me confirm that.
I don't know how many guys are going to be playing in the CHL.
Yeah, Klippenstein's going to Providence.
Okay.
Which is fun.
Yeah, I don't know how many.
Will they have any?
They might not have any fucking CHL guys next year. Yeah, because I'm going to have to go back. When I go back to go make my list for the roundups, thank God I'll be starting up soon again.
Underrated quote from Cosgrove.
Melco's College.
OG.
Yeah, I don't know.
Brian, and to be clear, Brian, Spacek and Lambos absolutely have potential. They're kind of graduated from our quote unquote, like who we put in our top prospects lists. Once you hit 23, you kind of age out of who we look at as the up and comers. But Spacek and Lambos are both guys that I think you want to see them get NHL time this year.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I think they're ready.
But yeah, whenever we do our annual, sometimes biannual lists of the top prospects in the pool, they've got to be under 23 and have to be eligible still for the Calder Trophy. I mean, a lot of people might still label like a Danila Yurov as a prospect. Like Jesper Wallstedt as a prospect. And I don't consider them.
So I just remembered, I think Cade Lemire, one of the kids they drafted this summer, I think he's going to be back in Prince George next year. I don't think he's committed to college. And he's another one I'm really excited to watch with get more minutes here. I think did he commit somewhere eventually? I can't remember. But I'm pretty sure he's going back to Prince George, and he's going to get a lot more minutes, and he's going to be one to watch. He's also, I went through the day 2 of the draft after they took him, and I was just like going through some of the last couple of years and just cutting up some clips for him. That boy, when he was 16 and 17, got in some fights that were like, oh my God. Like, I mean, he was fighting like 20-year-olds in the dub, and like, I mean,
looks like he's going back.
But he can throw both hands hard. Like, there, some of the fights he was getting, I was like, oh my God. Like, just chucking absolute fucking hammers. I was like,
good for Isha.
Jesus Christ.
Good for Isha.
But he rocks. He's going to be interesting to watch this year for sure. I'm excited to watch him.
Cool.
Like the only guy playing CHL. So
that is weird. Not used to that.
Very different.
Of course, like right when the CHL gets more interesting for us because they're going to start feeding college teams. Well, all the guys go to college. Which I'm not mad about. Okay. We are just a minute and a half short of hitting 2 hours. So an hour, sorry.
I was like, hold on.
I took 2 minutes into 2 hours. I don't know how that, whatever. Words are hard. Anything you want to close out on? There's not much in the chat, and I don't blame the chat because it, like you said at the top, just not shit to talk about lately.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta imagine things heat up. Maybe not this week, but the following, as we kind of start rounding out and getting ready for camps. But who knows? I just know, end of the day, I don't care what the number is. If Quinn Hughes is willing to sign 3 years for any number, you do it. Shut up, just do it. And we'll figure the rest out later. But I don't know. I always respected and thought Quinn Hughes was sick, but like watching him on a regular basis, you get a much more appreciation for how he actually impacts a team and how sick he actually is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, because obviously he joined up right as they were recovering from one of the most horrendous starts to a season we've ever seen for the Minnesota Wild when they're supposed to be good.
Yeah.
But we had been talking about that, like, man, they need to find someone that could chip in some depth scoring. And Quinn Hughes was like, how about I do that, but like point per game from the back end? And we're like, oh, holy shit. You could just do that? I didn't know you could do that. Didn't know it was allowed.
Is that legal?
Foul. No,
2 fouls.
2 fouls.
You can't just go flying through the air like that, Jackie.
That's my C. I hardly raised my voice.
My mother wouldn't lie to me in her dreams.
May your mouth not in heaven.
It appears the line has been crossed.
It appears the line has been crossed.
Father Pat of all people.
Father Pat of all people.
You go to my church. Not anymore.
Suck my cock. I'll murder your family.
Can you please put out that cigarette? No, I always smoke when I drink.
No, I cannot put this. Oh, yeah.
Well, we hit the hour. We needed to do that. And we didn't really rag the puck until the last minute and a half. So we got through it. Z's internet rebounded. We're okay. Hopefully next week we actually have more fun things to talk about. In the interim, if anyone has any thoughts on just D-Day scenarios, if Quinn Hughes isn't staying, like what trade packages could be out there. I'd be interested to see some of them. Review some of the mock trades, because I am really curious, like what could you get back for a clear rental who will absolutely turn your team into a contender? Like, that is a different level of rental than we're usually talking about with rentals.
I got an idea. Zeev Buium, Marco Rossi, Leo Ogre. Thoughts?
And a first.
Well, obviously, yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm not insane. Yeah, I thought.
God damn it.
Yeah,
I do hope Zeev's doing okay. God.
Do you see, I think it was Marco just got married, so a bunch of the fellows were out there. It was awesome.
Happy for him. Happy for my
funny.
boy. It's too bad that, like, you start hearing once he's gone, it sounds like he just wasn't a fit for the first line here. Like, talent-wise, he was, but it sounds like I don't think Kaprizov was a big fan of playing with him. And I think that's a good chunk of the reason he's gone, besides Bill Guerin being biased against people under 6 feet.
It's just funny because it was like, all right, well, sure. Maybe putting up 60 points.
What's the one thing we need? Oh, yeah, centers. Whatever. But I do hope Zeev's happy. I miss him.
Oh, yeah.
But if we get 4 more years of Quinn Hughes, I'll stop being sad.
I'm going to be on record. That would suck.
Would not suck. Heard it here first on Judd'z Budz. Quinn Hughes for 4 more years would not suck.
Print the t-shirt.
Quote card t-shirt. Yes, that's right. That's like right up there with the. Can you give me the exact quote on the t-shirt, Z?
Which one?
Wasn't it like, what if we just kick the shit out of everybody?
Oh, yeah. The Jim Montgomery really walked into the dressing room on day one and said, what if we just kick the shit out of everyone? R.I.P. to that shirt.
R.I.P. Did you throw it out?
No, I think it's somewhere in there. But once the Bruins fired, I was like, all right, well.
It's still a great shirt.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we can auction that off for charity.
I wonder where it is. Oh.
All right. I think that's all we got for this week. But again, hopefully something happens in the NHL in the next week here, and we'll probably run it to death on Monday next week. Appreciate those of you that did tune in, and yeah, better days ahead. We got maybe 1 or 2 more weeks of battling through the summer doldrums. We got a way more exciting summer than we usually get, so it's hard to complain. But yeah, I can't wait for September when football's back. We have more hockey stuff to actually talk about. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. Brian threw out trade. Let's see. Minnesota gets Jack Quinn, Owen Power, Consta Hellenius, and 2 firsts. I mean, Buffalo's insane if they do this, but sure, I would take it if Quinn's not staying. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's a lot. That's more than what the Wild gave up. So I'm gonna say no.
Imagine like 4 or 5 years, the fucking Buffalo Sabres have a blue line of like Quinn Hughes, Daxon Rudolph, Rasmus Dahlin. like what the fuck, man?
Pretty fun.
Olin Zellweger.
Dude, that one still bothers the shit out of me that no one else was ready to give up more, or that Anaheim didn't shop him harder. Yeah. Good for Buffalo.
The timeline of Buffalo's or Anaheim's fucking bullshit with Carlson getting oversheeted was
their whole blue line is just what?
I guess we have absolutely no choice but to lock up Minchikov on a contract that he probably won't fucking.
He's not living up to that, but good for him. Happy for him.
He's like,
Anaheim Ducks blue line right now, according to Daily Faceoff, Jackson Lacombe and Tristan Luneau, Pavel Minchikov and Ian Moore, Tyson Hins and Nick Jensen. I don't even know who that last guy is, or second last guy is. That's just not that's a bad blue line.
Tyson Hines, dude.
I don't know who Tyson Hines is, but this is bad. Jackson Lacombe rocks. We like Pavel Minchikov. Let's be clear. Like, good player. Weird contract, but good for him. Yeah, it's bad. It's just bad. I think they have a bit of regression coming to him this year.
Yeah, I mean, like the Minchikov contract, it was just like, hey, Verbeek, are you mad about the offer sheet thing? He's like, no, I'm not mad. Do not put it in the newspaper that I'm mad, because I'm not mad.
If there's anything I'm not, it's mad.
Don't put in the paper that I'm mad, because I'm not.
Don't you print that.
Don't print in the newspaper that I'm mad.
But, like, on paper, it's a good but not great forward group.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of the names are great. But, like, if you have Kreider and Killorn and Granlund in your top six, you're not going to get me that excited. You're just not.
Mm-hmm.
The other three names in that top six are filthy and young. And, oh, my God, if they can find a way to actually sign Cutter Gauthier, like.
I was going to say, did I see that they had just apparently they had offered him like 4 by 13? And he said no. Yeah, I think I saw. So I mean, I don't know if that's true that they actually did that, but those are the reports that I think I saw that today.
He's like, I want the Leo. Give me that.
My sources are telling me the Anaheim Ducks offered Cutter Gauthier a jumbo bag of Sour Patch watermelons per season for you. Hell yeah.
God damn it. All right.
I'd say.
Now we are officially closed out, but that end rant on Anaheim was worth the stay.
Yeah.
Catch you all next week. Appreciate you. Peace.